So is the Rockford Public School District the right school district for you? Hi everybody, Josh May Group Realtors, Remax of Grand Rapids, and happy to be up here in Rockford, actually at one of our listings on Little Myers Lake, to have a seat and talk all things Rockford Public Schools. I'm going to break down location, overall schools, rankings, you name it, we'll talk about it, and hopefully you learn just a little bit or maybe a lot today. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we go, breaking down the Rockford Rams, very notable mascot here in West Michigan. We're going to break down, let's start with the location first. So what you need to know is Rockford Public Schools is just about a 15-minute drive north of downtown Grand Rapids, mostly on the northeast side, northeast quarter we'll call it. And the other thing you got to be aware of is Rockford is a very large geographical district. We're talking about 100 square miles in area, and we'll show you here on the map. We're going to stretch as far south down to 4 Mile, which is right on the border of Forest Hills. Over to the east side of Rockford is going to go all the way to Nugent Drive, Nugent Street. To the north side is going to stretch all the way up to 14 Mile. And to the west side, we're going to go over on the west side of 131 to Division Avenue. So you can see here quite a large area. So overall, the total student population in Rockford is 7,750. So that's a big student population base. Great school, 98% graduation rate. You've got a teacher-student ratio of roughly 16-1. And some really cool, helpful stats. Most recently, Rockford was ranked in the top 250 schools in all of the United States by Newsweek magazine. If we look at the state of Michigan, Rockford ranks in that top 30, right around the top 30 range, actually 31, I apologize, let me take a step back. 31 out of 557 schools in Michigan, that's incredible. And what I think that is interesting, because we've shot some of these videos on Rockford before, is since Rockford is such a large district and such a large population base, they're all kind of filtering into one school, and they're known as a very athletic school, coming in at the number 2 ranking in the entire state of Michigan for athletic opportunities in high schools. So those are some fun facts for you. Next, I want to get into, just the overall dynamics and locations of the elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. We'll break down that next. All right, so let's start to break down the elementary schools in Rockford. So what you got to understand is there's actually 9 schools, getting back to the large geographical area. They're pretty spread out. So you need lots of elementary school opportunities with this large of an area. And we're going to show you the map again here, and from east to west, we're going to start. You've got Lakes Elementary, you've got Cannonsburg Elementary down by Cannonsburg, you've got Crestwood Elementary kind of in the middle of the district, along with Meadow Ridge Elementary. And one thing that is very important to know is with the emergence of immersion schools, Rockford does have a Spanish immersion program that sits right in the middle of the district also. Heading kind of west, we've got Parkside Elementary, Valley View Elementary, Belmont Elementary, and then Roguewood Elementary. So lots of opportunities to get those kiddos into elementary school, and with 9 of them, really not that far of a drive. If you settle in one of these neighborhoods, you're gonna be within a couple miles of an incredible elementary school. So let's get into middle schools next. All right, so with Rockford Public, you've got 2 middle schools. Now first you've got the East Middle School, which is just north here of Bostwick Lake, right around 9 Mile. And then you've got the North Middle School, which is right on 10 Mile and Northland Drive, closer to the downtown community of Rockford. So we go from 9 elementary schools, filter into 2 larger middle schools, and then that's going to take us to the high school, right? We're going to talk about the high school campus next, because this is an incredible campus. that features not only the high school, it also features the freshman center, okay? And that is right around the Northland Drive and Crows area. Incredible facilities. When you drive past, you'll see all the athletic fields, football fields, freshman center, as I mentioned, high school, aquatic center, auditorium, you name it, top of the line facilities in a great location. I do want to get into some more stats on, population basis of the freshman and high school centers. So the freshman students, you're right around 600 people per class when we get into that freshman center. Now, when we get up to the high school, we've got obviously 3 grades, sophomore, junior, and senior. And that total student population is about 1,800. So again, when you're going to Rockford, you can expect roughly about 600 kids in a class. So next I want to get into some of the special and unique programs offered at Rockford High School. So Rockford High School is home to and includes a ninth grade through 12 autism spectrum disorder and cognitive impaired program, self-contained Region 1 resource room, capturing kids' hearts, teen leadership, concurrent enrollment with Ferris State University, dual enrollment, and the Community Ed Child Development Lab. So you've got some really amazing resources and programs in the Rockford High School system. And I also want to talk about fine arts before we get into athletics. Well, we're actually going to talk about fine arts. We're going to talk about language opportunities, athletics, but lots of opportunities for fine arts, right? You've got band, you've got choir, you've got theater, you've got the visual arts. When we look at the opportunities for your children to excel in language and learning new languages, very impressed with the offerings at the high school level, most notably Mandarin Chinese, French, German, and Spanish. And as I mentioned, with the elementary school, you have the Spanish immersion program that filters up through the elementary school, into the middle, into the high school. So obviously the immersion program is there, but some of these other language opportunities are just incredible and not really seen in every school district in West Michigan. Next, I want to talk about athletics. So, I would say good and bad. The positives of moving to Rockford are the opportunities that your children will have with athletics, but some of the feedback that we get is obviously we need to understand these are very large class sizes, so it does get competitive. There's plenty of club sports offered. There's plenty of obviously the main sports, and the athletic facilities are absolutely top notch. But instead of me talking about the football program and the basketball program and the track program, I wanted to give you some other unique opportunities that kids can get involved with. And that would be along the lines of water polo opportunities, field hockey. They've got a rugby team, they've got a bowling team, they've got a ski team, which skiing's one of my favorite. I was a skier back I'm still a skier. Lacrosse teams, rowing teams. So on top of all the traditional sports, you've got some amazing opportunities for kids to get involved in some of these not maybe talked about enough things that you would see in high school. I want to end with just the overall mission of Rockford Schools, and I hope that you learned a lot about the overall geographical area, the locations, the schools, some of the amenities. This is meant to give you just kind of some guidance on Rockford Public Schools itself. And we'll just end with the overall mission of the public schools is to provide a safe teaching and learning environment which will ensure, with the support of the students, parents, and community, that all students upon graduation will have the academic and social skills to be successful, lifelong learners in a global society. So, as I mentioned, we are on a mission to get you familiar with anything related to living in Grand Rapids And this is just another stop on the tour, giving you some insight on Rockford Public Schools. If there's something that we didn't talk about and you'd like to learn more about, please leave in the comments. We'll happily get to that. We'd love for you to like this episode and subscribe to our channel. Like I said, we're bouncing around town all the time trying to give our listeners, our supporters, insight on why West Michigan, why living in Grand Rapids is such a great place to be. We'll chat with you guys on the next one. Have a great day.